Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
Next is from Robert Donovan, the subject is Starrcade 2000. Hey, K100. On the most recent wrestling bio is reliving the War series. He just covered Starrcade 2000, WCW's biggest show of the year, and man, what a mess. For those who don't know, WCW's biggest show of the year was main evented by Scott Snyder versus Sid, a match that had maybe a 2-week build under the huge storyline of Sid's return. To make this worse, at the time, WWE just did their main event of their December pay-per-view, and the main event was Stone Cold versus Rock versus Kurt Angle versus Undertaker versus Rikishi versus Triple H in a Hell in a Cell, which is a culmination of 3 storylines all coming together and wrapping up at the same time. Konnan and Disco. Can you remember what the vibe was like backstage? I mean, business aside, Starrcade 2000 is a horrible show, and you could tell it was going to be bad just by looking at the card. Can you tell me what the mindset of the company was like in the company at the time? Surely you had to know it was coming to an end soon. Disco, were you uncreative at the time? P.S. Joe, as a fan, did you see Starrcade 2000, and does it remind you of modern WWE at all? Dude, the vibe was we were getting killed by WWE because their show was better. Like me and Konnan would. I don't recall if I was on this page this time.
Yeah, Disco wrote Starrcade 2000.
I did not. I did.
You did.
No, I just remember it was just very difficult. Like, you know, with Russo and stuff. He just had constantly having difficult time working with the top guys. You know, the mid card guys always had like funny. The mid card guys always had weekly stories, like vignettes to do and stuff and things. So the mid card guys were kind of like, you know, all right, you know, but the top guys were just, they were all miserable and bro. But we were, you know, that the WWE at the time was a freight train. You know, The Rock and Stone Cold and Kurt Angle, like they just like listen to these, you know, Rock, Austin, Kurt Angle, Taker, Triple H. You know, dude, they just had a lot of strong over guys on their show, and their show was just, you know, they were just beating us to a pulp. You know, so that was the vibe. So, you got anything to add, Konnan?
Yeah, remember, we knew our show was a mess. We talked about it, but it was too late. We were going to hit the Titanic, and they were just starting to lift off and getting hot, just like we were 3 or 4 years before, you know? And really, a lot of it was, and here was another thing that Russo had a problem with. So Russo, if he didn't get his way, he would get mad, but, you know, Russo wanted to give the rub to the mid-card guys, so he would put them against the top guys, but none of the top guys wanted to work, and all of them thought, oh, we're Bischoff's guys, and Bischoff isn't here. So, bro, when you have the top guys not wanting to work with you, not wanting to work with the guys you're trying to make, it's hard too.
Yeah, and he didn't have a Vince McMahon backing him.
Right.
You know, like say, oh, you got to follow, you know, so it was just, it was very frustrating at the time. So, next is Paul.
Because he asked if I watched it, but I was going to say, do you remember what we did that night, Konnan?
Of course, I have zero clue.
Dude, you're asking me what I did 25 years ago?
Oh, no, Starrcade 2000.
Really?
You don't remember that, Konnan?
Yeah. It was
you.
I don't remember that.
Like
Disco,
that.
yeah.
Like, we never remember specific shows like these wrestling fans with photographic memory do. You know, it's like...
Right, we're not Dave Meltzer, Tony Khan.
Ray, thank you for asking. Ray and Kidman against Jarrett and the Harris brothers in a bunkhouse match. But the guy...
That's what we did after. How would I remember that?
Well, you were in Washington, so maybe you remember clubs you went.
Oh, we probably had to drive to Baltimore after the show then. That was a Sun. I guarantee that's probably what we did. If we were in Washington, we probably had to drive to Baltimore, the Baltimore after the show for the Monday Nitro afterwards. I guarantee. I would. Joe, probably look that up.
What?
Look at where Monday Nitro is. I bet you it was probably in Baltimore next night.
Let me just say to the guy real quick since he asked. I watched the beginning of it. I remember because 3 count against the Young Dragons ladder match was very good, and because they had just started doing the ladder matches with the Hardys and Edge and Christian and WWE, so I was like, oh, you know, maybe the guys like Shane and Shannon Moore and Noble on the Young Dragons are going to get a chance.
and get pushed, but they just kept them as cruiserweights, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't really see too much of the rest of them. He's right. That Sid main event and build was, I don't think you guys, anybody else.
What was the next night?
It was in Richmond.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we probably had to drive from, yeah. If there was a pay-per-view on a Sunday night, there was going to be a Monday that you had to probably drive to the town. So I bet you probably did Baltimore that weekend though. Yeah, that would have been a loop. So,
yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.